with this woman, because you know it gets to a point when she sees him every day.
That's the way he tries to string out like it's a narrative love story. The chimp put its hand out and grabbed her, and then you thinking he made a move on her.
So come on, he's allowed out.
Oh, it's not a story, is it?
He's allowed out the cage and whatever. Yeah. So he's wandering about, and as time goes on, he's watching what she's doing more and more. Right. So he notices like the code on the door, right? Whatever, 247 or whatever, he goes, right, I've clocked that, I've got that, I'll remember that, right? And then he goes, right, there's a lot of lipstick and that knocking about, a lot of makeup.
Right, okay. No, there's no way. No, because Steve, you know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen.
So he's there.
It's ridiculous.
And he's going, well, if it's there, you know what I mean? So while she's messing about with the rabbit, he gets there, he's in front of the mirror, putting a little bit of lippy on.
No! I know! It's gone too far! No, it's gone too far, Steve!
Your mic's off, Rick. He's finishing the story. Turn mine off as well.
It's looking pretty good.
I didn't mention the mascara!
It's looking alright, right? So it knows the code on the door, 247, right? So when she's sort of messing about with the rabbit, right, he goes, right? So it knows the code on the door, 247, right? So when she's sort of messing about with the rabbit, right, he goes, right, here's my chance. He's looking good. 247, out the door. Reception man's there. He's like, alright, Kirsty. Right?
Don't talk shit!
I Feel Free from Queen. That's pretty much the last track, isn't it, guys? I imagine on XFM 104.9.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've got nothing to say after that ridiculous story. I mean, that's worse than the bank robbery to me.
Yeah.
That he clocks out, and the bloke on the desk. All right, Kirsty. Oh, you're 2 foot shorter and hairy.
Yes. I look her anyway.
She wasn't a looker anyway. Brilliant. Oh, play a record and say to you, we'll see you next week for the last time for it all.
Just add some
adverts. Oh, I'd love to end with adverts.
See you later. It's brilliant. Going out on a bang. Fortune Faded by Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9 with Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant and Carl Pilkington for the last time.
Yes, we've said that before, of course, so don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, we had some highs, some lows, some laughs, some tears. Carl, you're concentrating.
A lot of tears, mainly from the audiences.
Yeah. Now, before we get into that, before we get into talking about maybe some of the hijinks we've had, looking back, looking forward as well.
Yeah.
I came in, Carl was sitting at the desk, he went, alright? I went, alright, yeah. He went, see that Alan Clark diaries? I went, no, I didn't. He went, a lot of people talking about it. He went, I've never kept a diary. Keeping a diary will always get you into trouble. And I said, like Anne Frank. What did you say, Carl?
The woman in the cupboard?
That's what he said.
The woman in the cupboard.
And I went, save it. Save it.
You never speak to Carl off air. Save it all for when we're on the wireless.
He went, but what does she do? What does she do except be in a cupboard? What does she have to write about? And I said, well, her thoughts. Do you know Anne Frank?
That's all I know about Anne is. There's no point pretending it.
Anne!
That I know stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
well, tell us everything you know about Anne Frank.
She was in a cupboard.
Yeah, what else?
If she didn't do that, I wouldn't know about her, seriously. That's all I know about her.
Yeah.
So what did she do?
But how do you think we know? We know about her cupboard because of her book, don't we?
But hang on, what in the bigger scheme of things, why was she in a cupboard?
I don't know.
Right.
I honestly don't know.
You don't know anything else about Anne Frank beyond the fact that, to quote you, she was in a cupboard.
Well, what's she done then? You tell me, why should I know more about her?
Firstly, I don't think she was in a cupboard.
She wasn't in a cupboard. She was in an attic.
Alright.
Yeah.
So what was she doing?
She was hiding from the Nazis. She was hiding from the Nazis.
Well, isn't that the first place they'd look? Sort of... work from the top down.
Oh, they weren't specifically looking for Anne Frank.
They weren't going, where is she?
Where's Franker?
If she gets that book out, we're in the deep shit. We've got to stop the book. They were just looking generally.
No.
She was, I think she was 13, 14, she was
Yes.
hiding, she was Jewish and she was hiding, lived in Amsterdam, didn't she?
Yeah, as much of her family were having to hide, being
Yeah.
helped by, you know, friends, non-Jewish friends.
In a cupboard, cupboards, you know.
And how long did she sort of hide up there for?
So she was caught.
Long enough to write a book.
So she even got caught after all that?
What do you mean, so she even got caught? We're talking about one of the great, you know, humanist tragedies of our times, and you're going, she couldn't even stay hidden.
What do you mean, did she get caught?
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, it's not a great tip then, is it? Do you know what I mean? She didn't do it well. She didn't hide until they escaped it. She got caught.
are not a manual on how to hide from people. It's not how to win at
I don't know anything about her, and we might be going down some ground that's a bit dodgy. I don't know enough about it. Maybe it's best just leaving it. All I was saying is diaries. You know, what do you do them for? Have you kept them, Steve?
Never kept a diary, no. I can understand your fear that it might get discovered, someone might read it, find out all about your inner secrets. Of course, the good thing about you is you tell everyone what you think about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
No one's gonna find a diary and go, oh god.
Can't believe it, Carl doesn't like my haircut.
Yeah. Can't think I look like Dave Hill from Slade. Yeah, I told you that, didn't I? Yeah, I told you that.
Do you think they'll last, though? Diaries and that? No, because they were a bit of a time killer, weren't they? It was something to do at the end of the day, whereas now there's iPods and that.
iPod of Anne Frank.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
New from Sony. That'd be great, wouldn't it? All the greatest hits. Who could forget? Oh,
Well,
dear.
I believe that then. I didn't
Should we
know it
leave
was that deep. I thought it was just like a, you know,
You thought it was like, didn't you?
Adrian Mole type thing. Yeah, what are we doing?
Thorns from my favourite album of last year, that. And I can't remember. We'll be doing a bit of that, playing some of our favourite songs. We've got a couple of requests. In fact, yeah, one of them a celebrity request. Matt Lucas from Little Britain is listening in.
Oh yeah.
So is it your last show? I said yeah. And I said, do you want me to play a record? Oh yeah. He said, what's your favourite group? Guess Matt Lucas's favourite group. Now remember, him and David are the new darlings of comedy.
Yeah.
They're cool, they're trendy, everyone loves Little Britain. They're comedy geniuses, they're only going to get bigger. What's his favourite group of all time?
That is tricky. Level 42.
No. Carl, have a guess.
Well, it's going to be something weird, isn't it, if you're saying this?
Well,
So, how old's the band?
they're probably about as old as him.
How old's he?
No. Oh, Carl, have a guess.
ABBA.
No, it's, what did you say, ABBA?
They're good, aren't they?
No, it's The Proclaimers.
The Proclaimers?
Yeah.
Really?
And I know he's listening, but, you know.
There's nothing wrong with the Proclaimers, I just can't imagine anyone getting that excited about them.
I bet that's why he likes you, because you hang out with him, don't you?
I do hang out with him.
He thinks he's...
Yeah.
It's like the closest thing he knows one of the Proclaimers.
Wait till he meets my twin brother.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna have a field day,
He
isn't
won't
he?
believe it.
Yeah. So I was on this, I said, I can't play the Proclaimers, but we're playing another...
Where did they come? Because I don't really remember the Proclaimers particularly from when I was young.
Well, let me give you a little blast. I give a little, but in two-part harmony.
Of course.
That was the
They
main
were
thing.
very popular for a while, weren't they?
I think they had sort of 3 big hits in sort of about 1980. When was it?
Yeah. Oh, I forget.
80s.
Scottish. They did sing in Scottish accents, which I thought was quite refreshing. They didn't do the fake American thing.
No, that was good. Yeah.
But again, I just can't imagine sort of being in that. When would I be in the mood to put on a Proclaimers record?
Well, you've run out of Crankies stuff, I
I
suppose.
guess so, yeah.
If you played all your Crankies records, there's
and the
you know,
Muppets album.
Yeah, pop on the Proclaimers. Now, we were talking before the break about Anne Frank in her cupboard.
Yes.
Now,
I'm still a little bit concerned that Carl's not quite got his head around Anne Frank's diary.
Yeah.
It's not like a children's book. It's not like The Lion, Anne Frank and the Wardrobe.
no,
She doesn't go
no.
into a fantasy land when she goes into the attic.
I'm just glad that old Mother Hubbard didn't help the Nazis.
Sure.
Because that's the first place she'd look.
Yeah.
Isn't it? The Nazis go, we've got old Mother Hubbard. She thinks she knows where she is.
Yeah.
She'd have gone straight there.
I think with Hubbard, it's like, well, just briefly, you mentioned Hubbard. Now, Hubbard goes to the cupboard to get, I can't remember exactly.
Her poor dog a bone.
She goes to get the dog
a bone. But when she got there,
the cupboard was bare.
The poor dog had none.
Is there more to that than that's all I remember. Is there further verses? Does she finally get a bone? Does she go on an adventure?
Oh, what, you mean the second verse is, then she looked in the fridge and realised that's where she kept the bones, and so the dog was laughing.
Exactly.
No, there isn't another verse.
That's all of it.
I think so. Oh, when they went to the cupboard to get a bowl of worm, when she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had none. No, I think that's the end of it. I think it's a moral. I think it's a moral that.
What's the moral?
Well, if you got a dog, keep some bones in the cupboard.
Right. Because I always, even as a kid, I remember thinking that it's quite a tragic sort of picture they paint. I imagine maybe she's lost.
It's short, isn't it?
It is short.
It's over, isn't it? That's amazing.
I always wondered whether perhaps she's had a nervous breakdown. Maybe her husband's died recently. She's just not got any food.
She doesn't know. She
doesn't really know what's going on. The dog's, yapping away. Eventually, she kind of wakes out of this kind of depressed stupor. She goes to the cupboard. There's nothing there. It's just a really depressing, morbid sort of tale. I don't know if maybe it's originated from something in history. I know that Jack and Jill went up the hill and they fell down again.
That's a story about illicit lovers.
That was apparently based on that. And obviously, Ring a Ring Roses. It dates
Plague.
back to plague times. So I don't know about Hubbard. Humpty Dumpty, not so sure about this. Well, this is something I remember as a kid thinking, at what point was it decided that Humpty Dumpty was a giant Eggman?
I don't know,
because there's nothing in the actual rhyme. There's no actually, it's not Humpty Dumpty, the Eggman's animal.
I don't know. My concern is more, his parents were a little bit cruel, because if you are
called
the Dumpties, I'll say sorry, don't call your firstborn Humpty.
Yeah.
Because straight away, it's going to be embarrassing for him at school, isn't it? I don't know what it... I'm just saying, I'm trying to go all the things together. Is that it as well?
That's all of it.
Oh,
and
God.
Also, I don't mean to be pedantic, because I know it's a children's
Is it like an Edward Lear thing, or... That's before that, isn't it?
But I don't mean to be pedantic again, but if you've got a giant Eggman and he's falling into bits, all the king's men, fine, they're there, they can piece that together again. Don't send horses in.
No, because
that's just a whole eggy, horsey mess.
No, they're going to make it worse.
They're just going to be standing on it.
They are going to make it worse.
It's not a great idea.
Standing on it, get the horse out of the way. No, he's definitely not.
But again, maybe I'm sure some of the, the mental people...
Is it pre-Lewis Carroll, or... If it's Lewis Carroll, it just came with the illustration.
I guess so.
He gave it to someone to illustrate. He goes, illustrate Humpty Dumpty. He goes, we've made him an egg.
Yeah, a sort of egg with eyes and a face.
Yeah.
I suppose because the moral of that is if you're fragile, if you're an enormous egg,
Mr. Dumpty, get down from the wall. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, there'll be no
things to happen.
Yeah.
Frankly.
I don't know, Carl. What was your favourite nursery rhyme when you were growing up?
Didn't really do that much reading as a kid.
You're joking.
You surprised me.
You're joking.
What's the one with loads of people in a bed? What's that one?
Oh, there was one in the bed and the little one said roll over. Yeah.
No, because that's not really even got a story to it, is it? That's
but
just...
hold on though, I'll stop you there. It doesn't even say people. It says there was 10 in the bed and the little one. Little what? They could be anything. I don't know what they are. Roll over, and they all rolled over and one fell out. There was 9 in the bed and the little one said roll over.
Now where is the little one in the bed?
I don't know, but worse than that, what has he got over the other 9?
That you can demand they roll out the bed.
And why is no one getting back in?
Yeah, they're just lying on the floor.
We're here now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How does that end?
Bed, and the little one said, again, he just says, presumably he's telling himself roll over.
Yeah.
There was one in the bed, there was a roll over. So he rolled over, and one fell out, that's him.
That's him.
There was none in the bed, and the little one said roll over. So now he's calling the shots, presumably laying on the pile of other...
They're just still rolling around.
I don't know, Carl. We've got to look into this. If anyone knows why Dumpty was an egg, if Hubbard eventually found a dog a bone, and what was the little one doing? What did the little one think he was doing, for God's sake?
When I saw my dad last year, he was telling me about a fella who's got some clothes you can see through. What's that one?
You don't mean the Emperor's New Clothes?
Yeah, what's that one about?
Well, that's a genuinely good little parable, that.
Yeah, because it's now used for people who are scared to sort of slag something off because it's sort of like really cool and they don't want to be the one that that shouts it, and then one person goes, hold on,
Very,
I've
very
seen through
briefly,
this.
Carl, very briefly, the king wants some new clothes, right, he's the king, he goes, who's gonna make me some new clothes? Various people come to me, he says, I don't like that, I don't like that, it's not interesting enough. One guy, who's just a bit of a con artist, he comes along, he goes, I've made you this magic suit, look, and it's nothing. He goes, put it on, the king puts on nothing, because there is nothing, but thinks there's something, because, you know, he wants to buy into it and everything.
And he goes, it's the finest stitching. He goes, look at it, can you see it? They have to say, only a genius can see how good this suit is. And the king goes, yeah, it's brilliant, yeah, it's great. And he goes out, and just, is it a woman or a little kid?
Well, everyone's applauding it, they're going, you look great, even though his tackle's hanging out, he's, you know, he's nothing.
Even though he's got a king-size, sort of like, bit of meat and two veg, wobbling, dragging down the street.
Exactly. And then one little boy goes, he's not wearing anything.
The king is in the Altogether, Know that one?
So, well, did anyone else buy one? Or was... Oh.
Okay, play record.
Play a record, Carl.
Play record.
Carl, just play a song.
Jesus. Travis, writing to reach you on XFM 104.9, alright?
A couple of emails here trying to respond to our requests for nursery rhyme related information.
Oh, go on.
Nikki Williams says that she was at infant school and she had a nursery rhyme book, and in the book, and this may just be the illustrations, but apparently the 10 in the bed in there were small baby monkeys, which you'll be loving, Carl. But again, I suspect that might just be the illustrations.
Illustrators, yeah. I remember I had a book of nursery rhymes when I was little, and my brother, who was older than me, I was about 5, so he was about 16, and I remember him and his mate just absolutely cracking up, because it said, up Jack got and home did trot as fast as he could caper. He went to bed and bandaged his knob, N-O-B, with vinegar and brown paper. I've since found out that knob is like the old English for head, but I didn't know why they were laughing.
Of course.
They were just cracking up. This was, whenever one of my mates' brothers came around, he got, so where's your nursery rhyme book? And he'd read it to him, and it was the funniest thing in the world.
The brown paper and vinegar was a popular method, because didn't Jack and Jill use that? They used something similar.
No, that was Jack and Jill.
That was Jack and Jill.
Yeah, that's Jack when he broke his crown, which obviously, that means his head as well, doesn't it? Yeah. So he's fractured his skull on a sort of like an outcrop of rock. Yeah. And then,
is that still used, the brown paper and vinegar?
I don't think it is.
I don't know, maybe in Manchester they're still using that, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Tracy and John Burton say that they reckon Humpty Dumpty was actually a cannon that used to sit on the walls of the castle in Colchester where they lived.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense.
A great fool, King's Woman couldn't put hands together in. So, they broke the cannon, or it meant it exploded.
Maybe the cannon fell apart.
Because people used to get blown up by cannons, just doing it wrong, didn't they?
Sure.
Which is hoist by your own petard.
Right.
Where that comes from.
Right.
Coming back and blowing up in your face.
So that makes slightly more sense, because you would want to send for the King's Men then.
Yeah, and the horses.
I think the horses just came along anyway.
That was quicker.
Sure.
The quick King's Men, they took them about 3 minutes, with the horses there in about a minute. So, but I mean, if it blew up, there's nothing I could do.
Yeah.
So we got to the bottom of that. See, that educational, Carl. See, this is real education. You know what I mean?
It's got a bit heavy though, isn't it?
What, Humpty Dumpty? Yeah, it has got a little bit heavy. Let's dumb it down a little bit. What do you want to do? Mary quite contrary?
We're doing Rockbusters in a bit.
Hang on a minute.
What?
Before you even get to Rockbusters, oh man alive, there are loads more verses to Old Mother Hubbard.
Are there?
I'm going to digest these while we play the ads, and I'll see if there's any salient information I can give you afterwards.
Brilliant.
Long time coming.
Delays. A long time coming on XFM 104.9 with Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant and Carl Pilkington for the last time.
XFM 104.9.
Sad.
We've established that Hubbard went to the cupboard, Rick.
Yeah.
Get the dog a bone, the cupboard was empty, as we all know.
So the dog didn't have any. End of story, so the dog didn't have any.
Well, no,
wait. Go on,
it turns out there's what appears to be something like 50 other verses.
Not really.
Unbelievable. I'm not going to go through all of them, Rick.
Right, any information?
Well, basically I can tell you straight away that the dog initially had none.
Yeah.
She went to the baker's to buy him some bread. When she came back, the poor dog was dead. Right, you're pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
She went to the joiner's to buy him a coffin. When she came back, the poor dog was laughing. I don't know what he's up to.
Right.
She took a clean dish to get him some tripe, but when she came back, he was smoking a pipe. I mean...
Hang on, so the dog was winding her up then, being dead.
I mean, he's pushing his luck. But especially if she's already depressed.
But, do you know what, if I was that dog, right, and I live with Old Mother Hubbard, right, all that faffing around, I'd be going, I know there's no bones in the cupboard.
Exactly.
Right? What do you mean you're going to get me some bread? I'm a dog.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in bread. get me some hamburgers.
Yeah.
So I think I'd start winding her up.
She went to the Our House to get him some beer. When she came back, the dog sat in a chair.
See, I'd have said the dog had turned queer.
Yeah.
Make it
Don't
right
stand
at
very
least,
long,
and
does
also
it?
get a little, you know, he's smoking a pipe, he's having a laugh,
I'm beginning to wonder
he's
if...
bent. He's bent!
I'm beginning to wonder if this is based on fact, though, in any way, because she went to the grocer's to buy him some fruit. When she came back, he was playing the flute.
He's gay!
No, it is the flute, it's not, now this, I didn't even know there was a goat involved. She went,
Oh no!
she went to the tailor's to buy him a coat. When she came back, he was riding the goat.
Yeah, there you go. Dirty little... Oh.